The silence from Kepler 442b had lasted 73 hours. Admiral Kane stood before the holographic display in the Terran Defense Command Center, watching the last transmission from New Horizon Colony replay for the 100th time. The settlement of 40,000 humans had been broadcasting their daily status reports when the feed abruptly cut to static. No distress signal, no warning, just silence. Long-range sensors confirm it, reported Lieutenant Torres, her voice tight with barely controlled emotion. The entire colony is gone. Surface scans show nothing but glass and radiation. Kane's jaw clenched. New Horizon had been humanity's pride, their first successful terraforming project beyond the Sol system. Families had lived there for 3 generations. Children had been born under an alien sun calling that distant world home. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Vex Imperium," announced Communications Officer Blake. The main screen flickered, revealing the insectoid form of High Commander Thex. The alien's compound eyes glittered with what humans had learned to recognize as satisfaction. "Terrans," Thex clicked, mandibles spreading in the Vex equivalent of a smile. "Your illegal settlement has been removed from our territorial space. Consider this your only warning. Withdraw from the outer rim, or face the consequences." The transmission ended. Kane turned to face the assembled officers of humanity's military leadership. President Martinez had given him full authority to respond to this crisis. The weight of that responsibility pressed down on his shoulders like a mountain. "Options," he said simply. General Park stepped forward. "Conventional response would be a carrier strike force. We could deploy the 5th Fleet. That's 3 months travel time," interrupted Admiral Cross. "They'd be ready for us." "What about diplomatic channels?" suggested Colonel Reed. "The Galactic Council has been useless for the past decade," Kane cut him off. "They talk while species disappear." Dr. Emma Wright, the head of Terran Research Division, cleared her throat. "There is another option." The room fell silent. Everyone knew what she meant. Project Helios. The weapon that wasn't supposed to exist. The Geneva Protocols forbid stellar manipulation, Reed protested. "The Geneva Protocols were written before aliens destroyed one of our colonies," Kane replied coldly. "Dr. Wright, what's the status?" Wright activated her tablet. "The prototype is complete. We've tested it on uninhabited systems. The resonance cascade effect works exactly as predicted. We can destabilize a star's core from a safe distance." "Casualties?" Kane asked. "The Vex home system has 4 inhabited worlds. Population estimates suggest 8 billion individuals." The number hung in the air like a death sentence. Torres spoke up. "Sir, that's genocide." "No," Kane said quietly. "Genocide is what they did to New Horizon. This is justice." He walked to the viewing port, staring out at the stars. Humanity had always been the underdogs in galactic politics. Too young, too aggressive, too unpredictable. Other species viewed them as barely civilized barbarians who had stumbled into space travel. Perhaps they were right. "The Vex have been expanding for centuries," Kane continued. "They've absorbed 17 species, destroyed 12 more completely. The galaxy watches and does nothing because they're too powerful to challenge directly." He turned back to face his officers. "But they made one mistake. They think we're just another weak species they can intimidate." Wright nodded grimly. "The weapon can be deployed from the stealth ship Perseus. They'll never see it coming." "Sir," Reed tried again, "if we do this, there's no going back. Every species in the galaxy will unite against us." "Let them come," Kane said. "Better to be feared than extinct." The Perseus launched 6 hours later under complete communication blackout. Captain Mills and his crew of 12 volunteers knew they were likely on a one-way mission. The Helios device was untested at full scale, and they would be operating deep in hostile territory. 3 weeks passed before they reached the Vex home system of Kepler 47. The binary star system was heavily fortified, but the Perseus slipped through their defenses like a ghost. Vex sensor technology was advanced, but human stealth systems had been designed specifically to counter their detection methods. At 0347 Terran Standard Time, the Helios device activated. The weapon itself was deceptively simple: a quantum resonance projector that could interfere with the nuclear processes inside a star's core. Within minutes of activation, the primary star began to destabilize. The Vex fleet responded instantly, but they were searching for an enemy they couldn't find. The Perseus had already jumped to hyperspace, racing back toward human territory with news of their success. The stars of Kepler-47 went supernova simultaneously 18 hours later. The shockwave was visible from 100 light-years away. Kirusnai, worlds, countless space stations, and the entire Vex military infrastructure vanished in a cascade of stellar fire that burned for 3 days straight. When the news reached the Galactic Council, the reaction was immediate and unanimous. Humanity was declared a threat to galactic stability. Trade sanctions were imposed. Diplomatic relations were severed. But something else happened that the Council hadn't expected. 3 minor species that had been under Vex protection quietly approached human ambassadors. The Centauri Trade Federation increased their technology exchanges. Even the proud Altair Republic began to reconsider their dismissive attitude toward humanity. Fear, Kane realized, was indeed a powerful diplomatic tool. Standing once again before the holographic display, now showing the expanding nebula that had once been the Vex home system, Kane felt the weight of 8 billion lives on his conscience. But when he thought of the children who had called New Horizon home, he felt no regret. The galaxy had learned an important lesson about humanity that day. Humans didn't just fight wars, they ended them.